Good morning. It is 9:08 a.m. on Saturday, February 3rd, 2018. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Last night I watched one of the Oscar nominated documentary features that was on Netflix. It's called Icarus. And I'm a little bit in a dilemma about how much to tell you about it, what specifically to tell you about it, because it takes some interesting turns that I was surprised by because I didn't know in advance, um, what everything, where it was likely to develop to. So, what I'll say to begin with is that it's about it begins as this guy Brian Fogler, who's an amateur cyclist and documentary filmmaker, had decided that he wanted to try to do kind of a Super Size Me style experiment where he would essentially try to take the same regimen of performance enhancing substances that, say, Lance Armstrong had taken. But he wanted to try to essentially what he was looking for is Lance Armstrong had been doping for years and yet kept taking drug tests and passing. And so this guy making this movie decides he wants to try to sort of like replicate that to an extent of saying, completely under, documentary control. He wants to take those drugs in a way that allows him to pass screening, not for his own, because he's not a professional, but just to kind of say, can you take enough to improve your performance without getting caught, essentially. It's kind of a, whistleblower sort of thing. But where the story goes from there gets bigger than you would probably be thinking. And if you look up the news about it, you'll definitely find out where it goes from there. But I was kind of pleased to not know to begin with. So I will leave it there. But we'll definitely say it is a documentary worth watching. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And it's easy to watch, available on Netflix. So I recommend that. Boy, I was actually thinking I felt a little better, but now that I'm talking, my throat feels a little bit sore. Hmm. 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 The other thing that I watched yesterday is there are the first 3 episodes of a new sitcom called AP Bio that are streaming on demand. Now, I don't watch a lot of sitcoms, really, but I have been watching The Good Place and enjoying that. And something they were advertising during that was AP Bio, which I decided to give a try to stream it, and they have the first 3 episodes on demand. It features Glenn Howerton, who is Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Patton Oswalt, and a number of other character actors about a Harvard professor who lost tenure and kind of got disgraced, and he's now forced to take a job teaching AP biology in an Ohio high school, and he doesn't want to be there, and it's all that, and so I feel like it's a premise that could go in a lot of directions in the sense of being kind of hacky or actually pretty good, and at least based on the first 3 episodes, I feel like it's pretty good. Not so much because of the plotting per se, but just because the texture and the performances are good. I like all of the supporting cast. They are filling out the world with a lot of interesting secondary characters, like the students are good. The school nurse, I think, is my favorite secondary character, and it's hard to. I feel like if the closest thing I could say to describe the school nurse character is that she's like a female version of Jerry from Parks and Rec. but even like a little bit more like aggressively friendly. Anyway, I like it. Recommend it. Thumbs up. But I think my little my song for today will be back about Icarus, though. So let's see. I've got a big race to ride. I've got the strength inside. I'm gonna race up, pedal up that hill. But my strength doesn't come from a pill. Doping, doping, doping is for dopes. Doping, doping, doping is for dopes. Sure, it might help you to increase your score, but it could lead to a personal war. All right. I will talk to you guys tomorrow for 5 more minutes. It will be Sunday, so I am going to be continuing my rewatch of Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. And so I will talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.